Welcome back. All right, just the 4 games tonight, but because I know I do take a lot of notes, I split it into 2 different boards just in case one of these games was crazy with a bunch of goals. We didn't see that tonight, but we did see some interesting action. We'll start things off looking at the Boston Bruins in New Jersey against the Devils. Swayman versus Markstrom. The start of the game was delayed by Jacques Lemaire being added to the Ring of Honor in the ceremony that was there. It was nice, and during the night they did have some, like, Jim Dowd came up to the booth and they talked to him and everything, so that made me feel old. Nason's tonight in the first minute. Poitras Coyle gets picked off. Shots are 2 apiece, 2.5 minutes in. The Bruins press at 3.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. A net feed to Beecher gets poke checked by Markstrom. And at 5:50, Boston opens the scoring. It's a cross ice pass and in for Geeky. Pasternak and Zacha with the assists, so 1-0 Boston there. Bruins press for another. They draw a power play. There's an early clear. There's a shorthanded post for Jack Hughes. Power play's killed off. The Bruins press at the half. The shots are 4 apiece with 9 minutes left. Luke Hughes has a net drive that's defended. Bratt has a slot shot that's held as the Devils get some pressure. New Jersey draws a power play. There's an early clear. Devils cycle, cleared again. Luke Hughes has a shot that deflects out. That's killed off. It's 1-0 Boston after one. Second period. Jack Hughes didn't start the period on the bench, but at 1:24, New Jersey scores without him. Mercer scores from Meyer to make it 1-1, and it's fired in from the slot. Jack Hughes then returns to the next shift. Markstrom was down. Brazo goes to the box. It was goalie interference. Markstrom did not return to the game, and it sounds like he might be out for a while. So Brazo crashes the net, goes to the box for it, and Markstrom's out, so Allen goes into the net. Early clear, the Devils then cycle and they score. Again, it's cross ice pass and buried. Hamilton with the goal from Bratt and Heischer at 4:12, so New Jersey now has the lead 2-1. Pasternak has a net drive that's saved. We get a power play for Boston. That's killed off. Shots are 7-5 New Jersey at the half. Myers denied on a one-timer. The Devils press. Jack Hughes has a one-timer that's saved. It's really all Devils at this point. We get a power play for the Devils, and they score on it. Nason buries one in close. Heischer and Jack Hughes with the assists at 16:01. And then at 16:13, Mercer scores. So 12 seconds later, and he buries this one in close. It was a nice pass as well by Dowling. Meyer with the other assist. It is 4-1 New Jersey at this stage. Lazar then has a net drive that's saved. It's 4-1 for the Devils after two. Third period, Korpisalo's in the net. I didn't think it was on Swayman. I didn't. Honestly, New Jersey was just the better team, and Boston was not great in that second period. Third period, Korpisalo's in. Power play for the Devils. They cycle. It's cleared again, and that power play's killed off. The shots are 2-0 for New Jersey at 7 minutes. Kind of a quiet third period, to be honest. Devils press at 7.5 minutes. They go back to the power play. They cycle. It's cleared out. 49 seconds of 4-on-4 follows that. The teams trade turnovers. Everything's killed off there. Zacha's denied after everything's done. Devils go back to the power play. Hamilton has a screenshot that's saved, and then at 13:32, Heischer tips one. It was screened as well. Hamilton with the assist, so it's 5-1 New Jersey. Bruins press with 4 minutes left. The Devils get a power play in the final minute just to close things out. It's a 5-1 win for New Jersey. They go to 27-17-6 with the win. With the loss, Boston 23-20-6, and they remain below the playoff line. Shots on net, 12-5 New Jersey in the first, 17-10 New Jersey in the second, 8-5 Boston in the third. Final shots, 35-23 for New Jersey. Power plays, Boston 0 for 3. New Jersey 3 for 7. The hits were 11-11. Swayman saves 25 out of 29. Korpisalo saves 5 out of 6. Markstrom saved 6 out of 7 before the injury. And Allen saved all 16 shots in relief. So look for a goalie to get called up tomorrow by the New Jersey Devils if they haven't already called him up tonight, but it'll probably be tomorrow. All right, next up, Columbus and Toronto. So Merzlikins versus Hildeby, and Toronto wearing the Beavers, as I refer to them, because they're that whole Drew House thing. They never wear them inside out. They're cowards. They don't wear those. They're reversible jerseys, but nobody ever wears them inside out. So what's the point of having a reversible jersey? Because I get it, because then the fight strap's dangling out the back like a tail. Anyways, there's an early press by Columbus. Olivier versus Reeves takes place. Apparently, it's the first time those two had a fight. Benoit is a one-timer that deflects out. The shots are 4-0 Toronto at 2.5 minutes, so Elvis was earning his money early in this one. Marchenko has a rush chance that's saved. We get a power play for Toronto. Nylander fires one wide. They cycle. Power play's killed off. One shot on net. Werenski has a sharp angle chance that's blocked. The Leafs press at 6.5 minutes. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Connor Timmins is denied in close. McCabe to Marner, near miss there. Nylander's denied on a breakaway. Reeves then had a breakaway chance that goes wide. The shots are 11-5 for Toronto with 8.5 minutes left. Columbus presses with 8 minutes left. The Leafs go back to the power play. Matthews' pass to Nylander gets blocked. And then, late in the power play, with like 2 seconds left in it, Fantilli scores shorthanded. Provorov and Olivier with the assists at 15:40. So clearly they then finished the kill because there was only 2 seconds left in the power play. Voronkov has a rush chance that's blocked out. It's 1-0 Columbus after 1. Second period, Leafs press at 2.5 minutes. Again, shots are 2-0 Toronto at 3 minutes. They look good to start. Columbus gets pinned down. In fact, they take a penalty there. So the Leafs cycle, and they end up having that power play killed off as well. They manage 1 shot on that power play. Kent Johnson has a wraparound chance that's held. Shots are 4-1 for Toronto at 7.5 minutes. Leafs press at 9.5 minutes. Matthews is denied from the slot. Severson to Kent Johnson near miss. And then at 13:40, Van Riemsdyk on a pass from the corner behind the goal line by Del Bell Belouz. Van Riemsdyk scores. The other assist to Kent Johnson, that's at 13:40. Somehow it's 2-0 Columbus, even though Toronto had controlled large swaths of this game. Leafs press for a response, but at 15:21, Fantilli buries a rebound in close. Voronkov with the assist. It's 3-0 Columbus. Things get pushed in a hole by Merzlikins. It's 3-0 for Columbus after 2. Third period, Nylander has a net feed that's picked off. The Leafs press at 2 minutes. Teams trade rushes. More pressure by the Leafs at 4 minutes, and then on a good forecheck, Del Bell Belouz on the turnover, the results from that forecheck, scores at 5:56. He jams that one in. It's 4-0. But the Leafs would answer at 9:22. Nylander goes beast mode on this play and gets the puck to Matthews, who just taps it in. So Matthews gets the goal from Nylander and Ekman-Larsson. It's 4-1. Kent Johnson then has a net drive that's blocked. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. So the Leafs decide to pull the goalie with 8.5 minutes left to make it a 5-on-4. And so Columbus says, thanks. At 12:02, Fantilli hits the empty net with his hat-trick goal, and his mother threw her hat on the ice, and they showed it, and that's great. Good for her. There are some local boys from Toronto, or at the very least with family in Toronto that were at this game, Del Bell Belouz as well. So Fantilli from Marchenko and Fabro makes it 5-1. The Leafs press with 6 minutes left. Nylander fires one wide on a rush, but this game's done. It's a 5-1 win for Columbus. They go to 23-18-7, and if the playoffs started today, they would play Toronto in the first round. This is twice they've beaten Toronto so far this season. Toronto 30-17-2 with the loss. Shots on net, 15-7 Toronto in the first, 9-5 Toronto in the second, 7-6 Columbus in the third. Final shots 30-19 for Toronto. Power plays, Columbus didn't have any. Toronto went 0 for 3. The hits 18-11 for Toronto. Merzlikins 29 saves on 30 shots. Hildeby, rough night for him, 14 saves on 18 shots. And let's go to board number 2. All right, Winnipeg and Colorado. So it's Hellebuck and Blackwood in the nets. Avs press at 2 minutes. The only shot on net was Colorado's 3 minutes into the game. We get a power play for the Avs. There's an early clear. Rantanen fires one wide. There was a shorthanded chance for Connor that saved. McKinnon nearly scores. Puck's held there. Power play's killed off. 2 shots on net. The Avs press after the power play's done. The shots are 4-3 in favor of Colorado at 7 minutes. Jets press at 9 minutes. We get a power play for Winnipeg. There's an early cycle. Connor gets denied. Puck's cleared out. Sandberg's then denied as that power play comes to an end. Shots are 7-5 for the Jets with 7 minutes left. So a little bit of momentum for Winnipeg there. Avs press with 5 minutes left. Ehlers is denied. The Avs rush. Rantanen's denied in the closing seconds. It's 0-0 after 1. Second period, teams trade turnovers. Shots are 2-0 Winnipeg at 2.5 minutes. Scheifele has a net feed, that's picked off. Iafallo has a net drive, that's saved. Gerard then has a tip shot, that's held. The Avs press at 5.5 minutes, and at 6:09, McKinnon buries his own rebound. His first shot hit the post, so he buries the rebound after that. Taves and Drouin with the assists. It's 1-0 Colorado. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. The Jets press at 8.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. Shots are 5-4 Winnipeg at the half, and at 10:56, Morgan Barron buries a net feed. Gustafsson and Morrissey with the assists. It's a 1-1 tie. The Avs look to respond. Kiviranta has a rush chance, that's held. McKinnon to Drouin. There's a near miss there. The teams trade rushes. Middlestad mishandles one in close. He is absolutely snake bit right now. Jets press with a minute and a half left, and at 18:44, It goes off Velarde's knee in front of the net. It goes in. Morrissey and Nemesnikov with the assists. It's his 20th goal. So there you go. Gabe Vilardi, the third 20-goal scorer already for Winnipeg. I think there's 3 teams with 3 20-goal scorers already. 3 or 4. The Avs look to respond again, but yeah, it's 2-1 Winnipeg after the second period. Third period, Makar misses one wide on a net drive. Perfetti has a rush chance that's saved. Avs press at 2.5 minutes. The shots, though, are 3-2 Winnipeg at 4 minutes. Avs press at 4.5 minutes. Some near misses there. And then at 7:05, Cale Makar scores as he's falling down. Rantanen and Drouin with the assists. It's tied at 2. The Avs press at the half. McKinnon's denied. The rebound's cleared. Rantanen has a chance that's held. It's really all Avalanche at this point. Scheifele's then denied on back-to-back shots. The shots on net are 8-6 for the Avs with 5 minutes left. Avs get a power play with 4:13 left, but I will agree with Scott Arniel. It was a hip check. So that's all I'm going to say. Sandberg clears, power play gets killed off. It ends up having no shots on net, so no harm, no foul. The teams trade last-minute rushes, but we're going to overtime. Winnipeg controls on the faceoff. Hellebuck gets it behind his net to Nemesnikov. Nemesnikov throws it to Pionk, and Pionk goes bar down on a rush at 17 seconds to make this one finished very quickly. Winnipeg wins 3-2 in overtime. They needed this one. They go to 32-14-3 with the win. With the overtime loss, Colorado 28-19-2. Shots on net, 9-8 Colorado in the first, 10-9 Colorado in the second, 8-7 Colorado in the third. Just the one shot in the overtime. That's all Winnipeg needed. Final shots, 27-25 for the Avalanche. Power plays, 0 for 1 for Winnipeg, 0 for 2 for Colorado. The hits, 29-15 for the Avalanche. Hellebuck saves 25 out of 27. Blackwood saves 22 out of 25. But very entertaining game. All right, and last game of the night is Florida and the Los Angeles Kings. So as you can see, scoring kind of low tonight after kind of a bonkers day we had on Monday. And last night we had some higher, well, we had basically Nashville, San Jose brought the whole scoring in the league up a little bit. So, and they play again tomorrow, so look for more goals there. But Florida and LA tonight, you knew this was going to be a tight game, and it was. Knight versus Kemper, they had a nice ceremony for first responders before the game. The Kings press at 2.5 minutes. Shots are 2-0 LA at 4 minutes. They're suppressed by the Kings at 5.5 minutes. Byfield's denied from the doorstep. Reinhardt has a net feed that's picked off. The Kings were a post away from the lead. No room for the Panthers to that point in the game. The shots are 3-1 for the Kings at 9 minutes. LA draws a power play. Kempe has a wrister that's held. That power play ends up being killed off. The Kings go back to the power play. There's an early cycle. Puck's cleared out. Danault fires one wide on a rush. Florida kills that one off as well. Panthers press with 4.5 minutes left. Things get pushy in a hole by Bobrovsky with 2:57 left. Florida goes to the power play. Panthers nearly scored very early in it. Tkachuk then has a shot that's held, and that power play is killed off. So it's still scoreless after the first. Second period, early press by Florida. In fact, the shots are 2-0 for the Panthers at 2.5 minutes. We get a power play for Florida. They cycle. Puck's cleared out. Barkov fires one wide. It's cleared again. And then late in the power play, Rodriguez scores. Cross-crease pass and buried. Lundell and Samoskevich with the assists at 7:27, making it 1-0 for the Florida Panthers. Fiala to Kopitar gets grabbed by Knight. So the puck bounces up in the air off Kopitar's stick, and Knight grabs it. Good move there, or else Kopitar would have finished it. Bennett has a net feed that's held. The Panthers press with 8.5 minutes left. The shots are 10-5 for Florida with 7.5 minutes left. And now the Kings don't have any room out there. So in the first period, Florida didn't have any, and now it was the Kings that were struggling to find room on the ice. Tkachuk has a net feed that's picked off. Kings press in the final minute, but it's 1-0 Florida after 2. Florida came into this game with a record of 18-1 when they lead after the second period. Third period, Panthers had the only shot 3 minutes in, and it looked like they might be able to bring this one home. Moore then has a net drive that's held, and at 6:41, Hellenius buries a loose puck for his first NHL goal. Jeannot and Spence with the assists. It's his first NHL goal, and you could tell by the way his teammates celebrated with him. It's always nice to see that, right? Unless you're a Florida fan, in which case you didn't like to see it. Clark then has a sharp angle shot that's held. The Kings press at the half to get more pressure. In that second half, 7.5 minutes left. They're still pressing, and at 13:12, Kempe deflects one in close. Fiala and Clark with the assists. LA basically forces their will on this game, and now they have a 2-1 lead. Kempe then crashes into Knight. I'm not sure, so I'm just going to say this for anybody who watched the TNT feed of this. I'm not sure why they were debating whether the puck went into the net before or after the net came off, because you can't crash skates first into the goaltender and push the puck and the goaltender into the net. So there is absolutely zero chance that goal would have counted. None. Zero. Zilch. Anyways, that being said, I don't know why they debated it as long as they did. Kopitar then has a net drive that's defended. The goalie pull happens with 2.5 minutes left. The Kings ice it with a minute left. Florida calls a timeout. And in that final minute on social media, the Florida Panthers account said the Kings win 2-1, and I knew I didn't have to watch the rest of it. So they spoiled the last 30 seconds of the game. So the Kings win this one 2-1. They go to 26-14-5 with the win. With the loss, Florida 28-18-3 on the season. Shots on net, 8-5 LA in the first, 17-6 Florida in the second, and then 14-5 LA in the third. So depending on which end of the rink you were sitting at, you got to see most of the shots or hardly any in the second and third period anyways. The final shots, 28-27 for the Kings. Power plays, Florida 1 for 2, LA 0 for 2. The hits, 28-16 for Florida. Knight saves 26 out of 28, and Kemper saved 26 out of 27. So strong night for both goaltenders, and pretty good low-scoring game. The Kings got a win they needed. Florida, second half of a back-to-back, and at points tonight, you could tell they looked tired, especially early in the first and late in that third period. You could tell they were just that step behind. And LA capitalizes and gets the win. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support, as always. I will talk to you again soon.